And welcome back, everyone, to Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age Struggle for Freedom mod. It has been almost a month since I last did a part. Had a lot of IRL stuff going on, including work and Christmas shopping and holiday spending, and admittedly getting myself lost in Smash Brothers Ultimate that came out just the beginning of December. So I was playing that quite a bit. I decided to finally get back into this after a few weeks of procrastinating on this. But I will try to get pump more parts out come early 2019, as much as I can here, and and I'll probably try to branch into other projects along the way as well to kind of keep myself a little active when it comes to uploading vids on YouTube and recording stuff. So what I'm going to be doing this part, nothing particularly special in terms of advancing the plot, but I'm going to be doing some hunts, just to get them out of the way here. I jump cut quite a bit, to accept a couple of hunts only because you don't have to see me necessarily run around back and forth. The only time I leave some stuff in is if the area is going to be relevant to where I need to go. For example, the Clockatrice, I do leave how to get to it after accepting the hunt in there. So you'll definitely see some jump cutting. But even then, the video is like almost a half an hour long. But we're just getting started, folks. We're most certainly just getting started. I hope you all also had a nice holiday this year. I hope you got all the Christmas presents you could ever want. As you can see here, I just go straight to the Giza Plains here. Again, by the time you have Vossler in your party, it would be a good idea to start taking on the clan hunts. Those are usually tougher than your ordinary hunts. Usually tougher. I'm gonna be doing all of them in this playthrough, as well as I believe there's some side quests I can also do along the way as well. I'll have to look them up at some point. Still, that being said, so some hunts will only appear as if there are no more enemies left on the screen. So they might be in one particular area if they don't appear. My advice here would be to just pretty much kill all the enemies on the screen and then leave the area, come back, and then the target should appear. There isn't always like that, mind you. There are a few exceptions. There are most certainly a few exceptions to that ruling. We'll get into them as we go along, of course. Alright, so, that being said, we're going to be tackling the Cluckatrice in this one. After that, we will go after the Rocktoise as well. That one, if I remember correctly, will just simply appear at the area that, yeah, you remember that area where Larsa, Larsa was admiring the manufacturing nephesite over there. That's where the Rocktoise is going to be. I'll get into more about Rocktoise in a bit. But yeah, like I said, if you don't see the Clockatrice appearing for now, just do what I'm doing here and just kill the enemies on screen. I believe you also would have to kill the Giza rabbits. I believe that you also have to get rid of them as well, because they technically count as an enemy. I do it here anyways, but I do believe you do have to get rid of them. Alright, kill them all here. And then once you kill all of them, as I'm doing here, you're going to leave this area. It doesn't matter if you go back into town or north or south from this area. You just leave, come back, and then there it is. There's the Chickatrice. That's one of the 3 that is accompanied by the Cluckatrice. There it is. There it is right there. I want to say the Cluckatrice is weak to water. It does seem to do the most damage than just any of the physical attack. They also have some pretty decent evasion, these chickens as well, so they're not exactly quite easy to hit. I think they have like one of those things where their evasion increases when they're in critical. I'm not sure why they do that. This one is not too hard. The Cluckatrices can also inflict petrify, not countdown petrify, actual petrify spells. So you definitely want to get plenty of gold needles on you, like as many as you think you're gonna need. Once you have that, then I think you'll be fine. Yeah, they also have counter as well, so you want to be careful when dealing with the Chickatrices. Excuse me. So, what did you all get for Christmas this year? I can go over a little bit of what I got. I'm just gonna reach over for a second. One of the games I did get for Christmas this year happens to be Etrian Odyssey 4: Legends of Titan for the 3DS. I just got started on that in terms of just playing it for the first time, and I'm liking it so far. What didn't occur to me though, as I started playing, I was thinking to myself, wait a second, that game plays a lot like Persona Q, except Persona Q came later. So that's where Persona Q got their battle style from. Or at least the way they designed the party system and stuff like that. I also got Catherine, which is another Atlas game. Can't wait to try that out. I've heard good things about Catherine. Despite it's like one of those psychological puzzle games. So that should be very interesting. All right, so that's the Cluckatrice down. Vanquished. Alright, and per usual, you just want to reap your rewards, of course. This one, I believe it gives you a amber armlet and the rainbow egg, if I remember correctly. Yep. Amber armlet allows you to do more damage if you're bare-fisted. Although I do remember thinking that brawler in this game is actually kind of bad. Because offhand damage it just sadly doesn't really do as much, and I kind of wish it got buffed a bit more. That way, fist damage can actually be a little bit more reliable than it used to be. The rainbow egg, you can just sell that as a loot. I believe this is one of the items that is reoccurring. Where, if you sell at least one, you can get a high potion pack, which just gives you just 10 high potions, of course. Alright, so where I end up going next here is back to the clan hall. You can accept multiple requests from Montblanc. As a matter of fact, that's what I think I ought to do next time, just kind of save a little bit of time. But I do show it off here anyways, just for the sake of showing it off, I suppose. So basically we had to go down to Bujerba to speak to a Moogle named Palika. And Palika will explain the situation about how his rock toys now became a giant menace. And there we are. I'm sorry if the video froze for just a second there. That's just because of the jump cut. While that was just due to the jump cut while I was trying to edit out, you know, all the team traveling back and forth and things like that. So I tried to at least try to shave off a couple minutes if I could. Alright, so we're gonna go into Site 2 of the Lushu Mines. And that's basically, again, where, and that is just basically where, what you call it, the cutscene happens when the Banga crew appears and try to go after Balthier. From again what I was told, they're actually manageable to fight, I suppose. I don't know why. I mean, especially since that you're not really given much of a reason to fight them. I mean, I'm not sure exactly if you get anything decent from them. Like, do you get like decent LP and things like that? Do you just get more experience? I'm not sure why you would fight the Banga mercenaries, the one that wants to go after Balthier. So back here to Lushu Mines, of course, just to kind of again show you how to get to that particular hunt. And I do believe I do some party shuffling around here, because I'm trying to keep everyone's level as even as possible. Alright, the assassin dagger gets put to use here. Coming up, there is a gate that I could have opened up earlier after Larsa leaves your party, but for some reason I didn't. But I do it here. We're not at this particular moment, but on my way back. And it's not that hard to find. You just basically have to get onto the other side of the gate, and then you flip the switch, and then the gate will open. It acts like a shortcut. Even though technically you wouldn't necessarily need to do that, but I guess saves you a few extra steps. That's the purpose of that shortcut. Alright, back in here. This is where we fought the Nidhogg from earlier. Get rid of this guy. You could theoretically just skip all the other enemies if you want to. I'm just kind of taking them on as I see them, just for the sake of getting perhaps extra loot. Certainly some extra license points for sure. As far as how the next part is going to go, it might be a pretty lengthy one. That means I have to come up with plenty to say here about what's going on and whatnot. But it may be a lengthy part because the two areas you need to get through just to get to Wraithwall's tomb is pretty damn big. So I might not be able to get to Wraithwall's tomb in one part. It might take about roughly maybe 2 or 3 parts, depending on how much progress I actually end up making. Alright, Vaughn is now level 16. Excellent. Yeah, and for the Rock Toys fight, I would also recommend, well, one thing about the Rock Toys fight, its spin attack actually hits the whole party. So if you have Pinello at this point, and you can be rocking Kira, that'd be the spell I would use to heal all your party members. Because Kira can actually heal for a lot more than what the spin attack can do here. If I use Kira here, Always a good idea to have your HP fully restored before the big fight happens. Just reorganizing my stuff here. Auto sort. Alright. I could have sworn I edited this out. Okay, I must have not edited this out, but that's okay. You guys have not seen a license board in a while. I figure I might as well show how I'm doing here. And I don't think I spend that much time here with the license board here. At least not that I can recall anyways. Alright, again, just checking to see what else I could learn. Kiraga and Regen. If only I had those spells. Those spells would be quite good to have at this point in the game. It's gonna do a little bit of equipment swap in here as well. What's interesting about the gauntlets here that we couldn't use it earlier. They'll raise your defense if you're in critical, so it gives the character at least a couple more chances to absorb a few more physical hits while he's trying to get healed. So that could be pretty important to have here at this point. I've always wondered what would have happened if Doom were to hit on an undead enemy. I would venture to think that the undead monster would just eventually just get his health restored. Because I do remember in Final Fantasy VI, if you use the Assassin Dagger on an undead enemy, it instantly restores their whole HP, which is something that you really, really don't want to do. It's something you wouldn't really want to do except for using cure spells, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because undead gets hurt by cure. Let's see here. I don't think a lot of the treasures around this area respawn. I know only a select amount doesn't respawn the whole treasure. Alright, so I believe this is the part where we take on the rock toys. It's gonna be up ahead, actually. And yep, there it is. Big old rock toys. Yeah, you can see that spin attack. It can do well over 200. Sonic Turn is what it's called. That can do well over 200 damage. So the strategy here would be simply just keep whacking away at it. Again, have gold needles on standby because its attack can also cast instant petrification on you. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for it. Pretty much other than that, just trying to keep your HP as high as possible and wish you the best here. Yeah, that's the move that can inflict petrification on you, the Stone Stomp. The Stone Stomp hurts. Can hit well over 500, I think. Yeah, for some reason though, a random skeleton can just pop up and try to interfere with what you're doing. Thankfully, the skeleton isn't too hard to take out. And also, you might want to bring plenty of Phoenix down. I might want to restock on Phoenix downs actually next time I next chance I get when I go to a shop. But yeah, you can see he's already halfway done. Now, if you sit now, another reason why you want to bring Voxel in your party, would be because Wither and Expose can make him really easy. Expose lowers his physical defense. Wither lowers his physical attack, which you are gonna need, especially if you don't want to keep just spam cure all the time. Unfortunately, though, the thing about Expose and Wither and stuff like that, is that it does take a few seconds for it to go off. Thankfully, I got some ethers I can pump out here. Of course, ability we learned earlier, at least for Fran, is the charge ability. What that does is it can restore a certain amount of MP or drain it down to 0, depending if the skill is successful with it or not. It's usually recommended to set a gambit to where if your MP is low enough, you can just catch charge, and hopefully, it's not always reliable, but if it does hit, it only restores like maybe like a certain amount of MP, which is good enough at this stage in the game, but eventually, when you start getting more ethers, or even stronger versions of ethers, you're going to want to prefer that a little more. Alright, so let's rock toys down, and then we're just going to hurry our way back to Djerba. Alright. Okay, now we're back here. Back at that long tunnel. Well, I guess it's not that long. It's just like it's just like within a few feet of walking distance. But yeah, you've pretty much seen me just killing the same old enemies as before. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised I didn't edit that out. Must have forgot to edit it out, I suppose. That'll be something I'll have to keep track of for next time for sure. That way, you won't have to see me run all the way back again. That's just one of those things I have to really work on, knowing when to cut stuff out. I will get better at it eventually, I assure you. Alright, but there's one thing I do show off though. That gate, like I said before, is closed. All you really have to do is just simply go on the other side and just flip the switch. I got a top of Phoenix down there, that's good. Replace the ones that I previously used. Oh, great. More poison shenanigans. Alright. Good thing, hey, a lot of antidotes here. Sorry if I don't exactly sound enthusiastic at the moment. I'm still dealing with a bit of a cold. And my nose can get really stuffy, especially during the winter time. It's just the worst with me. That's why I'm just chugging, like, allergy pills down my throat. And there you go, the gate is now opened. A remote. I've been picking up those quite a bit lately. Perhaps they could be useful for I guess farming succulent fruits, or those other enemies from, or those other enemies earlier. The one that rides on, I think it's a Nan Yin. I forgot what they were called, but they're the one that wears the ratty clothing and has like these masks on. The one that we saw in the cutscene, I believe, last part. Those I can remember who they are off the top of my head by name, but alas, I don't think it really matters. Anyways, we finally made it out. We won't be going back to Lushu Mines for a while, folks. In fact, I dare say we won't be going back there for a very, very long time. Because there's a part of the Lushu Mines that is just currently sealed off. So we are going to need some kind of a key for it. I mean, eventually we'll be able to nab something like that. But for now, it's time to sell the spoilage we just collected. Then check my map here for a second just to make sure I can plan out the quickest route. And that is pretty much it for the part. We're just going to talk to Palika one more time to get our rewards here. Aw, isn't that thing cute? Couple high potions and a survival vest. Very nice. That'll be a nice piece of armor we'll be able to equip for later. So until then, thank you all for watching this part. See you all next time. Later.